We might just have to hit manually start live.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's 4:15 on the Facebook and it didn't go live.
Yeah, it says live video will start today at 4:15. It's sleeping.
Do we give it a moment?
Eh.
Oh.
Oh, look at that.
Oh no.
It made the choice for you.
It made the choice for me.
Oh.
Magic happened. That's good to know.
I like that button.
If that's pre-scheduled, it just goes.
Mm-hmm. So don't be late.
Don't be late.
Don't be late. Hey,
It
Tyler.
manually started at 4:16, not 4:15.
Yeah,
Okay.
it had a minute delay.
Cute.
So that's what we learned today. It was very weird.
Mm-hmm.
I love trying new things, especially when they break.
Do you know why I didn't have any audio yesterday?
I did figure it out. It won't happen again.
Okay, what
Oh.
happened?
It was muted on OBS.
Oh, I've seen that before. Remember that day we were doing that Facebook and we had no audio?
It sounds familiar.
But it wasn't you and me. I think it was me and Adeline.
She's been here regularly.
Hello on YouTube. I see a Robin and a Debbie over there, and a Carol and a Maureen and a Denise on Facebook.
Woo. Yay.
It's Twister Thursday.
We're getting a little twisted
Twisted Sisters.
because
Twisted.
we can.
Sure. It's Thursday. We can do anything. It's actually Taco Thursday at my house, not Twister Thursday. Or,
Isn't it supposed to be Taco Tuesday?
yeah, Tuesdays are too busy with other things to have tacos. So we moved
Tacos
it.
are an everyday thing. Have many times.
No, you can only have tacos on days that start with
So we're just going to call you Taco Tyler now.
T. Welcome to my sewing room on Thursday, May 12th. I even know what day it is today.
Oh my goodness, I actually didn't know.
Yeah, I did know.
No,
I wrote down the date not long ago. And we have a Janie.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Cool. We have people joining us from all over. Welcome to live today. We pre-scheduled this, which might be why you knew it was coming. I am too young for Romper Room. We went through that at the beginning of the pandemic. Everybody's like, it's like Romper Room. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Also, I didn't watch much TV growing up. I grew up in a pop culture black hole.
I like that. I
Yeah.
wish I did. I'm just kidding.
Not but like super pop culture black hole. Movies, TV, didn't see them.
Well, that's okay. You probably read a lot of books,
I did. I don't.
played with rocks,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and that's why you became a geologist.
Yeah. I work at a quilt shop. So instead of watching TV, I go and sew.
It's just because you rock.
Aww.
Oh.
You're so sweet. So today, Chelsea and I are going to be walking you through one of the funkiest little tools I've seen for rotary cutting and making your quilts just a little more exciting. We're going to talk through the tool. We have some great announcements for upcoming stuff at the end of the demo, but we'll do the demo first today.
Yes.
So that if you are here because you heard there was a Twister demo,
We are demoing.
we're demoing. So how do you want to start with the overhead view of
Yes.
the quilt top that we could start with?
Sorry, I went really fast there.
So
So,
this great little sample, one of our ladies out front made this a while back and did the. Oh, do we have Sandy lurking?
There is-
Just lurking to see how you're doing.
there is a lurking Sandy.
I'm a lurker today.
Okay.
You keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna do the twister.
Oh.
Oh,
Did you say that we're doing the twist?
I did say that we're
Oh
doing
my
it.
God, are you guys ready? Everybody ready? Okay, let's go. Let's twist like we did last summer. Let's twist again. Because I don't know the rest of the words, but
I don't know any of the words. Twist.
Twist.
Okay. Time to the demo. Okay. So what we've got to show you here to start with is this is a whole sample that Betty made a little while back using the twister tool, and she had this really great thought that maybe I should show what it started as and what it finished as, so you know kind of the process behind it. We're actually going to show you how to cut and sew these things together, and the tool comes in lots of sizes, so You can have little twisters and big twisters and medium-sized twisters and itty-bitty little twisters.
We're going to be using the itty bitty today.
That sounds wonderful. All this starts out as is essentially a fully finished quilt top. And what you're looking at block-wise is this isn't even like a organized 4-patch. This is
Just a whole bunch of squares.
yeah.
Just piled in. Some of the patterns tell you where to put your squares. The pattern we're using today, we needed one light one in the center with a ring of dark, with a ring of light, and then we just put borders on it like you see here.
Yeah. So this is just kind of a random assortment, which totally works too. So maybe you got a bunch of fabric, you sewed it all together, and you're like, maybe you're not loving it. Maybe it's not worthless. Don't turn it into a dog bed.
Let's twist it.
Let's twist it. It'll be so much more fun. So once this is twisted, what could it look like, Chelsea?
I have to throw the other ones away. Oh, there's my piece. Just put that over there.
That's our piece. So the outside of this particular one has a bunch of wool applique on it as well. But if you're looking just at that middle piece, that is essentially that same inner quilt top borders twisted down into a twisted quilt top.
Yeah, turns out really beautifully. All of these little sections here were cut from the border. So these are actually just little pieces cut apart and put together. It's
the whole
really
point
fun.
of quilting is to cut fabric apart and put it back together. The difference here being we're going to sew it together twice.
Just makes it really made with love.
Yeah, and then I don't know, sometimes as new quilters or experienced quilters who sometimes we just have trouble lining up 4-patch seams. This is a whole lot more forgiving.
Oh, it so is. You do not notice. I definitely have a few missed points, and I don't think you notice once it's put together.
No, because some of those missed points get chopped off and twisted out of the picture. And then you have like colors that match meeting in the middle of the little pinwheel shapes. So, Denise on Facebook there says these would be good with little pre-cuts. Definitely. If you've picked up a set of charm squares over the years,
or mini is the one we're using today.
Yeah, so or like the mini charms, which is like the 2.5-inch squares, where you have weird bits of a jelly roll left over. I have weird jelly roll leftover bits from like 10 years ago.
You need this.
Probably.
You could just go and make it a queen size quilt, I bet.
I don't have that many 2.5-inch strips. So, from here, how do we get here?
Oh,
How do we get here?
Here's my lovely top I made today. This was really fun. Just put back. I pre-cut some of them so we can save some time for our lovely friends joining us today. We have this little tool here. It's kind of hard to see. It's from the Primitive Gatherings. This one. And this size we're using today is the itty bitty primitive pinwheels. And we have a whole bunch of sizes. So for this one, we have to cut 2.5-inch squares. So I just already pieced all of our squares and added borders. And Leah has a really big one there.
So this isn't the really big one. This is the midi twister. The really, really big one's called the twister. But what you can see on the back side of this is upside down right now. There's protective paper layer on top of the acrylic. This crosshair line is what we're going to be using to line up.
Yeah, so it doesn't line up straight, which is nice. We're going to do a whole bunch of bias cutting.
They're really big twisters, really big.
Oh yeah, it's gigantic.
So the tool works the same way no matter how big or small it is. So you could have one in every size and have the whole family.
You could. And we have extra patterns for them too. Yeah, this pattern. This one I think is behind us. Yes, it is. It is a beautiful green quilt we can show after. Betty made that one too.
Nice.
She made all of our samples today. Quite beautiful. And the Twister Illusions is a really
And that's the one I stumbled across last week where I was like, oh, we need to do twisters. They look like fun.
She was so excited.
Oh, did I bump the mouse? Oh,
I think
dear.
you did.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Leah.
Don't bump the mouse. That's how you break Facebook.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, stop touching the mouse. We'll leave
Okay.
that to the side.
All right. So I already did some of our cutting, as we can see here.
So how do
And-
you line up the tool then to get those little tiny cuts?
So what I'm going to do is I have crosshairs here. I will line up, of course, my little one, but it doesn't have the black lines on it. But I will line up this crosshair with the crosshair here and cut out my little square.
Sweet.
And I already cut some out. We can scoot those to the side. Maybe Leah can sort out how those go. It's kind of fun. And I have a tiny, I think it's a 28 millimeter rotary cutter because, of course, I have an itty bitty square, so an itty bitty rotary cutter is going to be very helpful for this. And these have nice sticky spots on the bottom of them, which is really awesome when you're trying to keep it in place. So I'm going to line this up, and my crosshair is going like that and like this. So I'll line it up. Get my rotary cutter. I'll give it a little cut. Check to my rotary cutter, and we'll rotate. This mat's very large and awkward. Hopefully I don't miss.
And you're getting the left-handed cutting demo?
Yeah, I do everything backwards.
I'll cut one right-handed for
For everybody else.
for everybody else, yeah.
I try and make it exciting, okay?
The other thing I'd highly suggest if you're gonna get into a project like this where you have to trim around all four sides of a rotary cutter like this, is to use a rotating cutting mat. This one does not want to escape its package. It's got like super glue holding it in there.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. It is super glued in there. But rotating cutting mats, the top layer spins. So then you can hold your template on your ruler and rotate the whole works around.
Oh, that's awesome. So you don't have to awkwardly rotate your
Yeah,
mat.
yeah, it's a whole lot easier and it's easier to keep placement accurate. So this is my go-to when I need to trim around all four sides of a ruler, like that.
That's a great idea. And it would be really good if you were just trimming square blocks that you've used as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Even if you're going to trim something like half square triangles or
Flying geese.
flying geese, something where you're going to have to trim multiple sides of your ruler. Where does this one go?
It goes there. So cute. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, there. You're right. Oh, my little tiny piece. Ooh. So when I assembled this as well, I assembled it with all of my seams pressed open
Nice.
because I figured as we start cutting, I didn't want anything wobbling because I had so much of my seams pressed one way.
Yeah, definitely. It'll keep your quilts flatter if they're pressed open. Reduces bulk for sure. The other thing here, if you're pressing these kinds of seams and they're not staying flat, a little bit of starch, flatter will help. And when you give it a press with your iron, drop a clapper onto it. It'll like make it crispy flat. Crispy flat.
And I did all of those techniques to get this flat, except for here. I got a little lazy.
Got excited and moved on.
I can't even lie about that. I was listening to a very interesting
You were listening to a class, weren't you?
class. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really awesome. I learned a lot.
Chelsea, I could use like these two.
Those two.
And then I'd have a 9 patch to work with.
Let's do another really awkward cut. I wonder if I could get away with just rotating my fabric.
I'd move the whole. Maybe. It's little pieces.
Playing dangerously today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is fun. I made my own rotating cutting mat.
Definitely a little different.
But I'm cutting very awkwardly.
You're cutting super awkwardly. Super
I
awkwardly.
didn't want to finish rotating it. It's Thursday.
Can I cut one?
Yeah, please. We'll see how the expert cuts.
So let's see how somebody that's right-handed cuts. Because it'll just look different. Like if you are, I know lots of times left-handed people never get the tutorial they need to see how to put their hands to do the thing.
It's true.
It's true. So most things are done right-handed,
You
but
should watch me write something. It is awful.
it's awful. Okay. So on here, I'd probably start here. Do that one. That one. Pretend this is a rotating mat. Like so.
Ah, that was beautiful.
And my little twister farm is growing. My twister, what are we gonna call it? Oh, I want that corner piece.
Ooh, get the corner.
Get the corner. Get the corner.
Get the corner. Get the corner. But now you have to take the other two as well.
I know.
I'm gonna read the instructions while you're doing that.
Seems like a responsible thing to do. I'm gonna not take all my little bits with me.
Yes, they say we are doing it correctly so far.
That's
Then
always good
we
news.
build the things and press our seams open.
Okay. I like
Because-
pressing seams open.
There are lots of seams.
Okay, and I took it all apart.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
That's okay. You can build it now.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I only have one in that row, so. So this would be one of those places where I'd highly suggest taking a picture.
Would you like me to cut more of these for you?
Sure. I'm gonna flip over to the.
Try a new technique. Make it smaller. Is that how you cut? There we go.
Okay. Flipping over to not that camera because it's not awake. Not that camera because it's not focused. There we go. Flipping over to the sewing machine camera. I'm going to grab these in pairs and work in rows. Usually that's how I like to work through my stuff, especially if it's needs orientation like these ones do. I'm just actually going to do this from the top for now. So to keep my rows organized, I'm going to sew these two columns together. Yep. I'm just going to grab two at a time. And today we are sewing on a Brother NQ575 with the 1/4-inch foot with the guide on it, which is a lovely foot to work with.
Hey, Leah, they can't see you sewing.
Nope, they can't.
Ah, that's much better.
It's much better. And I'm going to chain piece these. This is how I piece almost everything at home. If I can figure out how to chain piece when I'm garment sewing, I do. It's just how I roll. So I go as many in a row as I can, and then I take them to the iron. So the real question is, can I sew faster than Chelsea can cut? Not that it's a competition.
If it was a competition, I would have lost. I am a very slow cutter.
Also, there's no knee lift on this machine, Chelsea.
I know. I like to challenge you.
It's okay. Just a little slight lift on that presser foot when I'm chain piecing, just enough to get my fabric underneath.
Oh, pretty.
We have a whole chain of twister bits.
Or we have a lovely banner.
It's chaotic and wild. I love it.
Alrighty.
You need some thread snips?
Yeah, I was gonna say, may I cut these apart? Is that allowed? Eee. There we go.
So the biggest thing when you're pressing tiny little things like this and you're trying to get seams open, did you press that from the right side?
Yeah,
Why?
because I could.
I always press my seams open from the back side.
See, I do this, and then I flip it and do that side.
But that, how? So when I do this, I might give the seam a press to set the seam, and then lay it down.
Oh,
and
yes.
Press open from the back.
That works too. It does work.
More than one way to get there.
Yeah. Many more. There we go. Just gonna leave my iron there a little. Just get some bladder on this one. Oh, look at that. There's the clapper.
Clapper. The clapper's gonna suck all the heat out of that seam and help it set nice and crisp and flat. Using a clapper when you're pressing seams that do have some personality like these ones do is super helpful.
It's a very kind way to phrase how many seams are in this little tiny square.
This would be less chaotic if you started with the bigger twister tool.
But I wanted the mini
But
ones.
like the
Oh,
mini
it's not all
ones, if
crazy.
you're not sure what you're going to do with this at the end, make it into a doll quilt, make it into a table topper.
Mhm.
It's a fun thing to just try.
The itty bitty one behind us is so cute.
Right? It's just wee.
I definitely squished my seam over here.
It's wee.
All right,
so
let's try
tiny.
this Leah's way. The Leah method. I suppose that does take less time. As I run over all my seams, smush them around.
And then the other thing you want to make sure of when you're ironing things like quilt blocks, and definitely when all the seams are on the biases, you don't want to iron. You want to press. So heat straight down, not rub back and forth. You're likely to stretch things out.
This is true. I definitely did that, I think, on the very first quilt I ever made. It was very interesting.
Right?
It was not flat, but my mom loved it anyways.
Right? And I find lots of times people who sew are very critical of their own work. But if you don't tell people that it's not square, they won't know. And if you can't tell from 6 feet away, sometimes it's better to have it done than absolutely perfect. Perfect is nice if you can get it perfect.
But perfect's also overrated.
There is something to be said for like that handmade touch where it isn't quite perfect,
Yeah, is anyone gonna believe you if it's you made it?
right?
If it's perfect?
If it's perfect, then a machine made that.
Yeah.
Are you a machine?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I am actually a robot.
Chelsea's a robot. That's what we learned today.
I'm downloading new information every day.
We don't have a corner camera on.
No, we
Oh,
do not.
Apparently.
Now we do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, look at how beautiful those are.
Do you have any I can stitch together yet?
Probably these two. I don't know. Do they go together?
I don't know.
I don't know where anything goes. I think you
No.
sewed that wrong.
There's a distinct possibility that one went together wrong. I know how to stitch ripper works. We'll evaluate the situation in a moment.
We must see all of them to see if Leah made an oopsie. Okay, well, here's that one.
That's looking like maybe. I think there's 2 of these pink in your mix.
No, because there's only 4 squares. No, there's 5 squares here.
So in the mix of this, there is 2 dark pink areas. This is making sense.
This is how I keep Leah on her toes every day.
Very much so. What have you done? What have I done? Oh, I know.
Here's another
I would
one.
take a picture as you go.
Yeah, maybe take a picture or chain piece in rows. So how I made this was I actually chain pieced one strip and kept them all together, and then I added the next row.
So
Kept
I think
that
I have
all
it back together.
That looks like you might. I think you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Takes a little bit of staring to figure out. But it's fun.
So when I piece things like this, if you're concerned about those joints slipping away from each other, there is not the thing I would normally use in the bucket, so that's okay.
Are you looking for a clover clip?
Yeah.
They're in the bucket marked clover clips.
Hmm,
Would you like me to get them for you?
No, I'm okay. It's a
Okay.
little piece right now, but if you're getting into something bigger and trying to keep those seams aligned, pinning through here often is tricky. I use clover clips a lot.
I do too. I actually stopped using pins for the most part, unless I'm doing stretchy knits and I'm doing a knit binding.
Yeah,
Then pins.
definitely with clothing I use a lot of pins, but
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see like they're on the bias, they're a little warpy, so you might need to encourage them.
Just a little love, that's all.
And my tails are flipping up as I
Uh-oh.
I'll just hold those. Those don't piece into that yet. The definitely larger pieces will be easier to work with. Big suggestion for you, because all these pieces are on the bias, as you start working with them, starching your fabric ahead of time would be incredibly helpful. Less likely to stretch on those bias strips as you handle them if they're starched before you assemble the whole thing. You could also starch the quilt top before you go and cut with your twister ruler, and that would help to solidify everything and keep it from stretching. Always little pieces they're just hard to hold on to and work with, so usually a little bit bigger is better, but then you do have a longer bias length to work with, so more important to have it starched. That's the general rule.
Starchy, starch, starch.
Love starch. Mary Ellen's best press. The
There-
way to go.
There can't be more than enough starch.
Starch comes in gallon jugs. That's how I buy it.
We have some really lovely sprayers too.
Yeah, like the mister ones,
Mm-hmm.
where you can like spray in and you get a really long mist, so you don't get like the squeeze bottle fatigue that you get when you clean your house.
Yeah. Earlier today, I used it to remove paper from the back of something I foundation paper pieced because I got tired of ripping and pulling, and then my stitches moved. And I was like, spray. Worked great.
Magic.
It was magic.
Have that first one?
Hey, does it go to those ones? Oh yeah, one of them does.
Yep, my yellow one that does there.
Fabulous.
This would be a fun little project to just have like on the side while you're working on something bigger or between something bigger. Make matching pillow, like make a pillow top to match a quilt that you've already done with the twister ruler.
Mm-hmm. Or you could make a table topper. It'd be very interesting. Could make an I Spy table topper for
That'd be
little
huge.
kids.
Yeah.
Keep them interested while they're at the table.
Yeah. We almost have a 12 patch, which is a weird size patch. We almost have a 12 patch twister together.
I like that. 12 patch twister.
Teamwork sewing.
I actually really love ironing. It's quite nice.
I really love ironing if my iron is hot enough and heavy enough. I do not like ironing if my iron's not hot enough. Then I'm very sad.
I don't like ironing when I have an iron that leaks, which I did for a bit. Oh goodness, this seam is tight, Leah.
Oh, I have another tool for that.
Struggles. Let's just push my finger in there. Oh, very nice. How do I use this tool? Should be good.
That's the OSD. Oh, we can't see that camera. Hang on. In Chelsea's hand is the OSD point and press tool, which is from an embroidery company. But every once in a while, if you're having trouble with tiny little pieces and getting your fingers in near a hot iron,
This is great.
it can, that round ball on the end of it can do things your fingers can't near the heat. If you got two, they could be chopsticks. Then you can pick up your fabric.
My left-handed chopsticks. I gotta smush it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Leah's rushing me.
I want it so. I want it so.
You could talk about the bees.
I could talk about the bees. So when we were getting going today, I'm gonna flip the camera around there. Way at the end, let's start down with a bigger twister. Betty's played with multiple sizes of the twister ruler. We have twisted vegetables.
It's like a hybrid vegetable.
Yes. It's like one of those fusion restaurant dishes.
I like that.
Twisted vegetables. So we do have some food fabric in store. I don't know what led from food to bees, but without bees, we would not have all these delicious vegetables.
There would be no vegetables without bees.
Yeah. There would be
Look at
no
that
fruit.
cucumber.
Right? Delicious.
It's making me hungry.
It's gardening season. I'm pondering all the vegetables going in my garden. It needs to stop being cold at night in Calgary. Silly Calgary. Tons of bee fabric. The main fabric line back there is honeybee.
Honeybee.
Honeybee. It's called Honeybee. It's super cute.
We have a fat quarter bundle for it as well.
Fat quarter bundle. There's some fabulous trims that you can't see because they're behind my head. There's some fabulous trims that would coordinate and help you embellish your twisters. Twister bees, if you made twister bees out of that fat quarter bundle.
Would that make them wasps?
No!
A bee wasp hybrid.
Ginny says mechanically modified vegetables. Yes, mechanically modified vegetables. And same thing, like there's nothing to say, like on Betty's first sample there, she had some wool applique around the outside. Maybe it's not quite as big as you want. How could you fancy it up? Maybe you add some embroidery
Pretty cute
around
embroidery.
the outside. There's little tiny bees.
Yeah, they're itty bitty, so you can put them in the itty bitty ones.
Yeah. That'd be adorable. And I don't know if you guys have been here before. We love gnomes. There's honeybee gnomes. So you could embroider honeybee gnomes on your honeybee twister extravaganza.
I like that.
And maybe you just don't want any of the above. And this is Love to be Potted from Patchabilities. And Patchabilities are quick, easy wall hanging size pieces.
They're lovely.
This one is 6 by 22 sized wall hanging. And this is just designed to be like regular machine applique.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You could probably do it by hand too if you really wanted to.
probably. You totally could.
I think so.
I have more things to sew.
Leah's slacking.
No, I was talking. Let's make sure that's lined up right before I go for it. Chelsea's been doing the evil laugh thing.
Trying to mess her up. That's what I'm here for.
I don't think that's entirely what you're here for.
I think so.
But you could, if that's what you want to believe, sure.
Okay.
hear it when it's going through the thicker intersections.
Mhm.
One other thing that I like to have. If you're having trouble keeping those seams down, just grab a stiletto to help guide all those little pokey things, because it can get way closer in there than my finger can.
Plus, if you hit it, it doesn't hurt as much.
Might not be super happy on your machine, but
Your machine won't be happy, but your finger will be happy.
yes, we're all about keeping your fingers happy and healthy.
Yeah, we need healthy fingers to sew and do fun things.
So I'd love to hear what colors your first twister are going to be, or your second twister if you've already made one. You're going to twist up like random assorted fabrics, or you're going to twist up a fabric collection that you have lurking in your house.
Maybe twist up your scraps.
Twist up your scraps. That's great.
Give this a little flatter. I think she needs it.
I think you need some best press instead.
I think we have some of that too.
We do have some best press. Let me grab it.
Need the stick. Gotta get the stick in there. There's so many seams here.
Uh-huh. It's a very, very little twister block.
It's honestly, if you look at them, all seams here. You can't see any of the actual sewing or fabric right there.
Yeah.
It's adorable. I love it. Okay. Get some best press in there. This one's Caribbean Beach.
Ooh, yes. I normally get the unscented.
I feel like I'm on a vacation. Someone on a vacation. With my Caribbean Beach.
Nice. I don't know what kind of holiday it is if it's unscented. Like a winter vacation to the Great White North?
I would call it being at home.
Oh.
Staycation.
Oh, a staycation is unscented.
Oh, red scraps.
Oh, you could do all red? You could do a variety of reds? And with more accurate pattern placement, you get something like the rings in the wreath, or if you're more accurate. One of the patterns has a coloring page.
I was not very accurate when I went through here.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's super fun.
I was going for excitement for sure.
I like the excitement. So while Chelsea's getting that pressed super duper flat, other things, that's how you use the twister ruler. It's not hard, is it?
No, it was really fun.
It was really fun. It's really magical. Because,
It is.
Because when we...
Oh, goodness. That one's all crazy.
That's pretty good. When we compare what we started with to where we got to,
Okay.
it's significantly smaller. For one thing.
Well, what's 3 times half? Oh, dear.
3 times half is an inch and a half. So going from very random quilt block to our little twister corner with those funky little pinwheels.
That is really cute.
It's really cute. So even if all those fabrics didn't play nicely together, like they have way more personality in a twister than they do in a 4-patch or like a basic square layout.
They look so much cooler now.
Right?
I love it.
You look like a fabric ninja.
I was just feeling spring, and then I picked a black one for who knows why.
I don't know, we didn't get that far.
No.
No.
Maybe I'll take it home and get that far.
Maybe. That sounds good. Other things coming up in store this week. Tomorrow morning we have Bernina digitizing software class. And I'm really excited about tomorrow's class. It's a technique I've used a little bit in software digitizing some logos and some artsy things, and we're doing gradient blends. So how do you kind of fill 2 areas in an embroidery design with different colors of thread and change that around so you get like light blue to dark blue across an area. It's funky. So that's happening in our software class tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon is class 11 of 12 of One Stitch at a Time, which is the hand embroidery class with Barb. And that's all been recorded. So you haven't missed out if you haven't signed up yet. There's one more class. Like
One
two.
Two more.
2 more. Tomorrow and next Friday.
Because today is not tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow.
I do know how the calendar works. Most days. Next week we actually have a really quiet week class-wise as we roll into the May long weekend here in Alberta. I know lots of people with gardens or who like to camp are changing gears and thinking of the great outdoors.
Yes.
So
Totally.
not much on the go next week other than hand embroidery at the end of the week. And then at the end of the month, I believe it's the 27th, the last Friday of the month, we've got Kimberbell a la carte. The one project, it's called Heart and Home Decor. It's a little wall hanging with some embroidery. We're actually going to be talking about quilting with your embroidery machine. More so in that class than the actual project embroidery.
Ooh.
Because it's got space to quilt. So we're going to be talking about quilting in that class. And the other one, I saw the thing for it.
You saw the thing.
I made the thing. I don't remember what it is.
What's the thing, Leah?
Don't remember.
Is it embroidery?
Yeah, another embroidery project.
Oh, okay. It's not stitch parties. We just did that.
Yeah, we just did that. No, the other Kimberbell a la carte. I made the sample. Don't remember what I stacked on top
I
of each
bet
other.
it's on this calendar.
It's probably on the
here.
calendar.
I bet it's on this calendar. Unless it just says
No,
a la carte.
It'll say both. I saw the ad on Facebook and Instagram today. I'm teaching it. Just they're blurred together.
We've got this.
We've got this.
We've got this.
Halloween mug
27.
cozies. Halloween mug cozies.
Halloween sweet wrap.
They're sweet wraps.
They're
We have them on
cozies.
candles right now. They are a riot to make. They're so much fun to make. I had a blast. A really great use for weird scraps of white fabric if you want to like make the little mummies.
They're adorable.
And the little pumpkins. They're a scream. Because they're Halloween. That's why they're a scream. No? No?
I liked it.
Perfect. And then early in June 1st, we have Kimberbell Red, White, and Barbecue event. We're making an apron. Oh, Sandy is waving fingers at me. There's only 4 spots for Red, White, and Barbecue. And then we are sold out. So if you are on the fence about that, don't wait. Because you can join us virtually or in store for that event.
Yeah, I think we have a few in store for that event.
And if you're new to embroidery, it would be a really good event to attend in person.
It is awesome. You can get back to being social.
Yes, social.
I'm sorry. If you come to class, you get to hear more of these great puns.
Chelsea has the puns. I don't.
I also do dancing.
What?
I dance in class when you're not looking.
I miss out on all the fun when I'm teaching. So yeah, that's coming up. And then June 16th and 17th, we have an OESD event. So same thing. If you're new to embroidery and you want more information about stabilizer, and to stitch some really funky projects, you should join us for that. We can do that one virtually or in store as well. Best thing about OESD events is stabilizer bundle discounts. Just saying. I like not paying full price for stabilizer. As somebody who embroiders a lot, much more affordable to get some of that on sale.
Most definitely.
And I know there will be sales.
And who doesn't need more stabilizer?
The moment you start enjoying embroidery, you need more stabilizer.
Yes, I already need more stabilizer, and I still don't have an embroidery machine.
We're
But I
working on
need
it.
stabilizer.
Stabilizer is useful lots of other places too.
It is actually. I have to do a buttonhole and some knit. So I'm gonna throw some stabilizer behind it.
That'll totally work.
Solved.
Problem solved. Other thing, there's a Bernina sale that ends on the 14th, which is Saturday this week. So, going shortly. And then, new stuff later on. I can't tell you because I don't have the info.
There's always something new.
There's always something new. So that's what we got for you today.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for Twister Thursday.
Yes, thank you for joining us in our chaos.
It was lots of chaos. It was fun.
I like it.
We should continue.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. So cute.
It's cute. I
It's
like
cute.
it.
Yeah, it's
It's
cute.
sturdy.
Yes. Oh, yes. So thanks so much, everybody.